The Dallas Mavericks play the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow in the first round of the NBA Cup, and I cannot believe this is happening. It was reported a few hours ago that PJ Washington is listed as questionable due to illness. The same illness stemming all the way back to the Miami Heat game where Jimmy Butler was listed as questionable before the game due to illness, but decided to play anyway, infecting the entire Dallas Mavericks locker room where multiple players have been in and out due to illness. So in this video, we're going to take a look at everybody that's listed as questionable or out. How can Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks maneuver these injuries and illnesses and still come out with a dub? We're going to break all that down. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, our last video got 366 likes, which I appreciate greatly. I know I'm always asking for 400 likes, but I'll take 366. I'm grateful nonetheless. But if you're enjoying everything that we're doing here at Mavericks Digest, the live streams, the watch-longs, and the news vids, make sure you drop a like on this video, and I'd appreciate it greatly. But, like I said, tomorrow is the first round of the NBA Cup where the Dallas Mavericks will be playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. It is a late game. It's 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 for Eastern. And the Dallas Mavericks, we've been playing pretty well against Oklahoma City Thunder. We knocked them out in the playoffs. We beat them earlier this year, even though we also had injuries as well as they had injuries. The Dallas Mavericks, nonetheless, have been playing a very good brand of basketball. We're 16-8. We were the second seed, but we didn't lose any games. We just didn't play any games, and now we are currently the fourth seed. It's a very tight race in the West. Every loss matters, every win matters, and you got to get them how you can. But a few hours ago, a report did come out that PJ Washington has been listed out with an illness. I'm sorry, he is listed as questionable, not out, questionable with the illness. But the tweet reads that Najee Marshall, illness, and PJ Washington, illness, are questionable for the Dallas Mavericks matchup against the Oklahoma Thunder. Maxi Kleber, illness, and Jaden Hardy with a right ankle sprain, as well as Dante Exum with his right wrist, and Brandon Williams, who is in the G League, will be out. So I don't want to just jump to worst case scenario, but let's just jump to worst case scenario. If we're playing without Maxi, Jaden Hardy, Dante, no Brandon Williams, no Najee Marshall, and no PJ Washington, this is going to be a very, 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 very hard game to win. I still believe that we have enough firepower. We got enough players off the bench that can step up, as we've seen throughout this entire season. When PJ Washington was out those few games, we did lose the majority of it. We went 1-4, but we also saw when Luka was out, we were still able to get a lot of wins. We were still able to play a good brand of basketball. This team has learned that no matter who's out, we will still maneuver. We will still find a way to win these games. But the Oklahoma City Thunder is a team that's also dealing with injuries, so that may play in our favor. Who knows? All I know is that without PJ Washington, who is the Oklahoma City Thunder killer, this is going to be a lot harder for Jason Kidd to find who needs to step up, who's going to play more minutes, how do I adjust these rotations, and who's going to start, as well as who's going to come off the bench. If we take a look right here, this is where it all stemmed from. When we played the Miami Heat, this was the report that Jimmy Butler with the illness is available to play in tonight's game versus the Mavs, and that's where it all went down. That was patient zero. And not only did he infect the Dallas Mavericks, he infected his own team. As a few games later when they played Boston, there was also another illness with Josh Richardson. And as you've already known with the Dallas Mavericks, we've had guys in and out of the rotation, including Najee Marshall, and it was reported that he has an upper respiratory infection, and he has currently missed 4 games so far. Hopefully he doesn't make it 5 on Tuesday. If he's not ready to come back, I don't want anybody to rush back from injury or illness. And with the upper respiratory infection, that affects your cardio. He can't run up and down the court without being out of breath. The best advice I could give Najee Marshall is get some Vicks vapor rubs, drink some ginger ale, eat some crackers, watch some soap operas, do what I used to do as a kid, and you'll be fine. But in all seriousness, hopefully he is okay for tomorrow's game. We are definitely going to need them. Like I said, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are a very good team. They're number 1 in the West for a reason. Even though they also have their own list of injuries and players that are out, they're still finding ways to win. And if we just take a look right here, like I said, Najee Marshall, he's missed the last 4 games, and really 4.5 games. That game against the Utah Jazz, he was only in for 13 minutes and left during halftime and never came back. And that's going to be very tough if we don't have Najee Marshall, who can slide in for PJ whenever PJ is out. But without PJ and Najee, it's going to be very tough because we also don't have Maxi. And I know a lot of you guys feel about Maxi. His offense isn't there. I argue his defense is still good. But whenever you have injuries like this, you're going to need someone to step up. And if Maxi isn't going to be available, if we don't have Najee, if we don't have PJ, The answer might be Omax, and I know a lot of people might be excited to see more minutes from Omax, where some of you may not want to even hear his name, and you may want him traded, but the other day against the Toronto Raptors, Omax looked pretty good. He had a pretty solid box score. He was providing a lot of energy, a lot of get up and go, just up and down the court, flying all over the place, diving for rebounds, going up for blocks, going up for rebounds, trying to score as much as possible. It did look like he didn't really have a defined role other than just go out there and just make a play. Do any and all the small things that we need you to do, and you'll be fine. So in tomorrow's game against the Thunder, if we don't have PJ, if we don't have Najee, expect to see Omax, but I don't think it's as bad as many people think. As we take a look right here in that game against the Toronto Raptors, Omax put up 5 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and was 50% from 3, and that was only in 10 minutes of play. If we have all these guys out tomorrow, expect a much better box score. If we look at just his per 36 for the Raptors game, it would have been 18 points, 21 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Now, do I think Omax can play 36 minutes of basketball and get 18 points, 21 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks? I don't think so. I do not think so. I think he could get close to half of these, maybe. Omax is still very rough around the edges, but we're going to have to do something. We've seen whenever we were out without Derrick Lively or we're out without Gafford, we'll put Dwight Powell in. And if we don't have any of our power forwards, yes, expect to see Dwight Powell alongside Daniel Gafford on the floor. Expect to see Omax minutes. Expect to see somebody from the G League get called up. Obviously, Jay-Z and Gortman won't really fit the bill, as we need players with size. And we do have one player who I don't think will be seen, but it is an option if Jason Kidd wants to go that route, and that's Demarion Sharp. He is with he's with the Texas Legends, the Dallas Mavericks G League team. He isn't on a two-way contract, and the only way that he could come up and play with the team is if we offer him an Exhibit 10 contract, which I think it's a little bit too late to make that call right now. I'm pretty sure the team just wants to wait and see who's actually available, who's actually hurt, and at the last second, make that decision on how we're going to play this game. I do have a lot of confidence in Luka and Kyrie and even Klay Thompson to go out there and do their best. The problem is that the Thunder are a pretty loaded team. If we take a look right here, the Thunder, like I said, they also have their injuries. They still don't have Chet, and this was for the game, not against the Pelicans, but their previous game before that. In that game, before that game, they didn't have Chet Holmgren. Ousmane Dieng was out with a finger injury. Alex Dukas was in the G League. Dylan Jones was in the G League. Jalen Williams out with a hamstring, and Nikola Topic was out with his ACL injury. But Alex Caruso is no longer listed, signaling he is available. So, against the Dallas Mavericks, tomorrow, expect to see Alex Caruso. And the rest of these guys are probably going to be out, which it does kind of make me feel better without Chet Holmgren. The Dallas Mavericks can definitely play a little bit bigger. We can go to Derrick Lively. We can go to Daniel Gafford. Dwight Powell, if you feel like it, you definitely could do that. I think the answer to tomorrow's game, if we're dealing with all these injuries and illnesses, is to just go with size. Go with guys that are bigger. So we may see more of Omax. We may see more of Dwight Powell, more of Daniel Gafford. Obviously, without Maxey, that's just another option that we could go to, but we don't have, especially for the defense. But like I said, the Dallas Mavericks, we do have a challenge ahead of us. I do have faith that we will put up a good fight. Without PJ Washington, the Oklahoma City Thunder killer, it's going to be pretty tough, but he is not listed out as of now. He definitely could be a late second scratch where he does play. And if he does play, I just hope that he's capable and able, because I mean, his track record shows that he is where is it? If I can find it, here we go. That PJ Washington is the Oklahoma City Thunder killer. He's averaged 17.3 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.5 assists in 11 games against the Thunder in his career, all that are above his career averages. He obviously plays a lot better when he's in OKC, and I've told people time and time again, it's because his baby mother was born in Oklahoma City, so he probably got some deep-rooted beef with that city. But in all seriousness, I think the Dallas Mavericks will have their work cut out for him, but it's not impossible. Improbable? Sure. Impossible? Never. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think that we're fine? Do you think PJ's going to play? Or do you think that we're cooked and just chop it up as an L? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for making this far into the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on this channel. The only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But until next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.